What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today is December the 18th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is focusing on today. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data, just got CPI. So that came in at 2.7, forecast of 3%. So definitely on point. Initial jobless claims also came in at 224 versus a forecast of 229. So today worked out so far pretty amazing. And I think there was a couple of things that it was going to come down to. One was Micron earnings, and they hit a stellar earnings. And I feel like the market is extremely just picky right now. If there was any aspect of their earnings that was kind of flawed, the market would have easily went down. But luckily enough, Micron had phenomenal earnings. CPI came in on point, initial jobless claims. As a byproduct, you are seeing a nice push higher. So Dow is up 0.64, S&P up 0.94, NASDAQ up 1.52. So amazing stuff. I can't hit that home more than what it is. But fear and greed index, surprisingly, is still under the fear category. So in theory, people's appetite for risk isn't necessarily on the table. But of course, every stock I'm going to be talking on is really moving higher. Starting off with SoFi. So they are up 3.24%. So amazing stuff. Aside from that, shorts, though, are increasing 195,000 shares. 9.15% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 113.4 million shares overall are being shorted. Right now with a 2608, it is right below this S2, so 2609 will be that key pivot for today, and then 2648 will be the next strong target / resistance, and honestly, that could be touched depending on how much and how hyped up the market does get. One thing to take note of, though, is this. So later this evening, we do have out of Japan, we have the interest rate decision. So this is where we could see some volatility because of that. So just be somewhat aware of that. Aside from all of that fun stuff, it's right over here, sorry. So BOJ interest rate decision. So it is currently anticipated for a hike of 25 basis points. So that could cause a little bit more of a liquidity pinch. But nonetheless, for today, during the trading day, realistically, you could see that 2648, but just watch for that 2609 to be that key pivot. And then 2547, realistically, I don't see that being on the table given the data that just came out. Moving on, even NIO, the stubborn ass stock NIO, is moving higher. So that's definitely good. Nothing really coming out associated to NIO today just yet. So good stuff for that. Shorts, on the other hand, they're trying to slow the progress. They are increasing 361,000 shares. 7.7% of the free float's being shorted, works to be 156.97 million shares overall are being shorted. I know I've mentioned this in the past, but whoever is shorting NIO, they're very strategic. They generally know what they're doing, but I think on a kind of consensus and sentiment, they're all over the place. So some days they're increasing, like what they do just doesn't logically make sense. I get it, they're trying to break NIO more on the technicals, but still, today, given the news that came out, it would be rather dumb, at least in my mind, to be increasing today. But nonetheless, with it at 496, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So you really want to watch 492 to hold, and then 506 to be the next strong target. Realistically, I don't see that 506 being touched. So today, the key pivot is going to be that 492, and then 484 being the next strong support. Moving on, this stock, Micron, is getting a huge amount of volume, so it is up 14.3%. This is a quick layout of their earnings. Amazing stuff. Like I said, everything was on point. This was posted by Brad, Stock Market Nerd. I believe his name is Brad, but nonetheless, shorts are returning about 3,000 shares. Obviously, this stock isn't a squeeze play whatsoever, but it's good to see them returning. It kind of does validate today's very green day. 2.08% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 23.2 million shares overall being shorted, with it right now at 258. It is between this R2 and this R1. 255 is going to be that key pivot for today. Definitely don't see 229 on the table, and then 271 is going to be the next round target, and realistically I don't really see that also being touched today. Moving on, ticker is ATHA, so it is up 64.9%, largely because of this. I know I've mentioned this every single time one of these kind of stocks comes up, but biotechs are not my forte, so feel free to kind of read this and go through it. But ultimately, this is why it is moving higher. Shorts are increasing about 9,000 shares. I know that doesn't seem like much, but there was only 17.06 thousand shares overall being shorted. So right now, shorts during the pre-market are increasing 136.6%. Crazy stuff, right? Still, I don't see this being a squeeze play. Only 0.66% of the free float's being shorted. Right now with a 678, it is currently looking at the classic between this R3 and this R2. 564 is going to be the next strong support, and then 693 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So most likely this classic is going to be hit. Possibly throughout the trading day you could see some profit taking, but just watch for that 564 to hold. And then last but not least, ticker DJT. So it is up 25%, largely because of this. So it looks like there is going to be a merger with TAE Technologies in a $6 billion all stock deal. So that's why it is moving higher. Shorts, although, are increasing 9,000 shares, 7.58% of the free float's being shorted, works at be 11.84 million shares overall being shorted. Right now with that 13 and change, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot, so 1235 and 1432 is going to be the next strong target / resistance point. So let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid on-point buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades, worthwhile too. Pop over there and check that out. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.